Whenever I'm faced with the Caro Kann defense in a blitz or bullet game, my go-to weapon is the Hennig Gambit. And even in rapid games, sometimes I play it against players rated around 2200, 2300. Nobody knows how to handle this Gambit. This is a Gambit many Caro Kann players are just not prepared for, and I'll be showing you how to play this Gambit in this video. And without further ado, let's get started. The game starts with e4, and opponent goes c6, the Caro Kann defense, and we take space on the center of the board. Opponent strikes in the center, we develop our knight, opponent captures here, and here is the gambit. Instead of recapturing here and going into the main lines of the Caro Kann, what we do here is that instead of capturing this pawn, we simply develop our bishop, and this is called the Hennig Gambit. By far the most played move in this position is simply developing the knight to hold on to the pawn, and then we offer our opponent the opportunity to trade this pawn, an opportunity many people are just going to take. In this position, black can play a move like this, and black can try some moves like this. We are going to be looking at some of those moves, but by far the most played move in this position is to capture here, which is a good move. It's not a blunder. We recapture this way, and in this position, black simply develop their bishop, a natural looking move, pinning our knight, but that move is one of the most common mistakes in this position. And in this position, we can decide to go capture here, followed by this move, but also we can try to be tricky by just playing a move like this, and we are simply offering the opponent our queen. And if opponent gets greedy and capture this queen, then comes this beautiful checkmate. And if opponent realizes he cannot capture our queen and decide to play a move like this, trying to keep an eye on this square, what do? We sacrifice the queen yet again. And when opponent captures here, we simply deliver this checkmate again. So in this position, the best move for black is not to play this move or capture our queen. Instead, it is to play a move like this, trying to defend this square like that. We simply trade here, and after the trade, we castle our king, and look at the position. Black has two isolated pawns on the center of the board. We have massive lead in development, and black has to be very careful here, else the position just slips away very quickly. And in this position, the position is already slightly better for us. But instead of going here, usually I like to play a move like this. I like to capture here, luring the king into the square. Then comes this move, and that's just a fork. And the best move for black here is simply to go here. But I've seen games where opponent decide to play a move like this. We capture here, and after the trade, I capture here. And in some cases, black just proceed to develop a piece like this and get checkmated like this. So black can play bishop to f5. We simply castle our king, and after a move like this, trying to open up this diagonal for the bishop to come out, we develop our knight to this square, and after a move like this, well, that's already a blunder. What do we do here? We simply sacrifice our rook on f5. And what's the idea behind this move? The idea behind this move is that if black decides to capture here, the rook is not a pawn, the rook can move sideways. We simply capture this way, and if black decides to capture here, well, then comes this move. That's simply a royal fork on all the pieces on the board. And after a move like queen to c7, we simply land a check here and forcing the king to move into the square, because if black decides to move their king into the square, this move is going to be a beautiful checkmate. So the king moves to f8. We simply capture here, and after a move like this, a capture with check, we move our king away, and black tries to finish their development by playing a move like this. We do the same. We simply bring our bishop into the game, and after a move like this, we can simply move our king to f3. The idea is to swing the queen into the square, and our knight is also threatening to just come out of this square, because this bishop is controlling the square, and if black allows us, we are just going to bring our knight out. And if we try to stop the knight from getting into the game this way, well, black has already made another mistake. We simply play a move like this. We are threatening to capture here, and after they retreat the bishop this way, well, then comes another beautiful and brilliant sacrifice. We sacrifice the knight on this square, a knight sacrifice that cannot be accepted. The best move for black here is simply to move their king away. We simply capture here. We are just up a lot of material, and they completely winning the position. But if they get ready and decide to capture the knight this way, well, then come this check. They are forced to block this way, and this move is a beautiful checkmate. And even in this position, if black doesn't play a move like this, walking into our trap, and they decide to play a move like this, just trying to maybe put pressure on this pawn, we simply defend our pawn. Our knight is going to be coming out, and we are up the exchange, and we have a completely winning position on the board. And in this position, we might be wondering, well, black doesn't have to capture here. What if they decide to develop their bishop, just over protecting this pawn? Well, this is another very common variation you'll be seeing in the Hennig Gambit. What we do here is we simply capture here. Black usually capture with their knight. They do not want to lose their bishop pair. We develop our knight, and black is happy to just give us double pawn here. They give us double pawn, which we gladly accept, and after that they push their pawn forward, trying to create open up this diagonal for the bishop to come out. We castle our king here, and after a move like this, we simply develop our knight to g5. In this position, black has to be very careful, because if black plays a natural looking move like simply castling here, black has walked into yet another trap here. We sacrifice our rook here, and after the trade, we simply bring our queen into the game. We are threatening to go here, checkmate. The knight and the queen is lining up on this square, and black is simply forced to play a move like this or give up their queen. Many people are simply going to play a move like this. We capture here, and in this position, the best move for black is simply to capture here. We simply recapture with check, and there's still a lot of tactics on the board, which I will be showing you in just a second. But if black gets greedy and instead of sacrificing here, tries to save their queen by playing a move like this, going for this pin, well, it is already checkmate in 3. We go here, check. It is a double check on the king, so black is not on time to capture here. We have a check from the knight, we have a check from the bishop, so black is forced to move their king, and they are forced to move the king into one of these squares. But regardless of where they move the king, it doesn't really changes anything. If they move the king here, we simply go back here, check. It is a discovered check from our queen. The king is forced to move into the square, and this move is a beautiful checkmate. And trust me, you are going to checkmate a lot of people like that. But black, realizing they cannot move their queen away, they might decide to capture here. We simply land a check here. And in this position, black has to go here. That is the best move for black. I'll be showing you what we do if black finds the best move in the position. But if black doesn't find the best move and play any of this move, well, black is already in very serious trouble. If black decides to play this move or this move, it doesn't really changes anything. We are just going to sacrifice our bishop on h6. The idea is simple. We are simply going to retreat this way, and it's just going to be checkmate on the next move. And if they try to play a move like this, well, that move does nothing. It doesn't help opponent. We simply go back here, check. Black is forced to block with their queen. We capture here. We are up 10 points of material and a completely winning position. So after we capture here, we check. If black doesn't play any of this move, which simply loses the game immediately, and instead they play a move like this, we simply go back here. We are threatening to just capture this pawn on the next move, and we are also threatening to deliver checkmate here on the next move. And if they decide to play a move like this, defending against checkmate while also stopping us from capturing this pawn, well, not really stopping us from capturing the pawn, we simply capture the pawn. Black has a king that is stuck on the center of the board. We are now up a pawn, even though we started down a pawn. We have the bishop here, and the position is just completely winning for white. You might be asking, in this position, what if black doesn't even bring the bishop here or here? What else can black play? What if black just plays a move like this, just trying to create a square for this bishop to come out? Well, this is another common variation you are going to be seeing in the Hennig Gambit. What I like to do is simply to castle my king, and after my opponent plays a move like this, I bring my bishop back here. The bishop doesn't seem to be doing a lot here, and this is setting up some kind of trap. And in this position, black simply castles, and after the castle here, we play a move like this. There's no need bringing the knight into the game. And what's the idea behind playing queen to e1? We want to get the queen into the game this way, and this move is also a very common move, asking you to capture here while also allowing this knight to land on the natural development square of the knight. What we do here is that we do not capture, we just ignore that and simply bring our queen into the game. And after black captures here, trying to gain a tempo on our knight, well, we simply ignore that and we strike with a move like this. The idea here is simple. We are threatening to simply capture here and deliver checkmate here on the next move. Black is left with two options. Black can decide to play a move like this or decide to play a move like this. If black decide to play a move like this, I will be showing you that very soon. But if black decide to play a move like this, what do we do here? We simply move our knight to e4, putting more pressure on this knight. Black can decide to play a move like this or capture here, or decide to play a move like this. I'll be showing you what we play in all of those moves. The best move for black is simply to go here, and I'll be showing you how we deal with that. And in this position, if black decide to capture here, expecting us to capture here and just trying to liquidate and simplify, well, we are not going to do that. Instead of capturing here immediately, well, we simply capture here on the next move, and that's a fork on my opponent's queen and a rook. So black has to save their queen, so they save their queen. We simply capture here now, and after they save their rook, we bring our bishop here. The threat here is simple. We are simply threatening to go here and deliver checkmate here. So black moves their queen here, and if we decide to play a move like this now, the queen just goes here and the queen defends against checkmate. So what do we do here? Well, we bring our knight into the game. We are simply threatening to land checkmate here on the next move, and a move like this doesn't help. So instead of moving any of that, if opponent moves here, we simply capture here and checkmate is just unstoppable. But instead, black decide to move their pawn to h5, but we are not done sacrificing here, as we simply sacrifice the knight on this square. A knight sacrifice that if black accept, black is in trouble, because if black simply accept the sacrifice now, we simply go here. That's a discovered check on the king, and we are just going to win the queen on the next move. And if black decide to play a move like this, trying to get rid of this our annoying bishop, well, it is already checkmate on the board. We simply land a check here, and black is not left with a lot of choices here. Black is forced to move into this square or move into this square. If black moves into this square, instead of even going for the queen, we have a beautiful checkmate. Let's say black moves into this square, we have this check. Now the king is left with no legal move, so black is forced to block this check this way, and we simply deliver checkmate like this. And if black decide to play a move like this, trying to bully our knight away, well, we are not even done sacrificing, as we sacrifice our bishop on g6. And if black decide to capture the bishop, well, then comes this check. Black can only try to delay the inevitable, because if black decide to capture here, we just go here, and that's an immediate checkmate. And if black decide to block this way, well, it doesn't really change anything, as that is still going to be checkmate on the next move like this. So instead of capturing the bishop, what if black decide to capture the knight? Well, we land a check here. If black blocks here, we are simply going to capture. And if black decide to play a move like this, then we land a check here. And the king is left with several options. But regardless of where the opponent moves the king, checkmate is just coming on the next move. If they decide to move the king here, that is checkmate. If they decide to move the king here or here, that is still going to be checkmate. And if they decide to block this way, well, they are just only trying to delay the inevitable, as checkmate is simply unstoppable. So remember, in this position, we are simply threatening to capture here and then go here, checkmate. If black decide to capture here, it doesn't work, because we just capture here, and we can just go here, checkmate, or maybe capture here again, and that's just going to be a fork. So if in this position, black decide to play a move like this instead of this, if they decide to play a move like, we simply sack here. And if they capture here, we are just going to capture here. We have all kinds of attack on the board right now. Black cannot afford to be greedy. If they try to play a move like this, well, we simply land our knight here. The best move for black, according to Stockfish, is simply to land a check here. We move our queen away, and if they try to play a move like this, because we are simply threatening to land capture here, deliver checkmate here on the next move. So if they decide to play a move like this, saying justice, if you capture here, I'm just going to replace it with another knight. What we do is simply go for a rook lift. We are threatening to just go here. We have all kinds of threats on this part of the board. We have an attack that is just going to break through. It is already checkmating 8 now in this position, and the position is just completely winning for white. So after we capture here, what if black doesn't capture here and instead push the pawn forward, which is the best defense for black? Well, we simply play a move like this. We are bringing in another attacker into the game. We are still offering our opponent the opportunity to capture here, and if opponent gets greedy and capture here, well, then comes this brilliant bishop sacrifice, a bishop sacrifice, and we are just completely breaking through. You can see from the evaluation bar, position completely winning for white. If white decide to capture our pawn here, well, it's now checkmate in 4. We land a check here, and after black captures, we land another check here, and then we land another check here, and this beautiful checkmate. There is a lot of attacking possibilities in the Von Hennig Gambit. We just cannot cover it in just a single video. If there's any variation you would like to ask question on, feel free to ask question in the comment section. And if you have made it this far into the video, do not forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more videos like this.